It's a new day, and abundance is here. My name is Bisola Miriam. Ẹ kú ojúmọ́ o, Bisola Miriam ni mò ń jẹ́. Lóòrọ̀ yìí mo fẹ́ bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ nípa nǹkan tí mo kọ́ lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá. I basically want to talk to you about the things that I learned in the past week. Specifically, I learned 4 things. And these 4 things are the fact that, one, there is always a way. If you believe in God and if you keep doing your faith work, there is always a way and there would always be a way. The second thing I learned is the spirit is never too late, which is God is never too late. No matter how long it might take, God always comes through. God is never late. The third thing is do not be moved by appearances. Do not be moved by appearances. Do not be moved by the things that are not working out. Keep your faith alive. And the last thing is, when you eventually get the things you want, or when it's beginning to look like you're going to get it, just know that you deserve it. And so let me explain to you these 4 things that I learned in the past week. The very first one that I'm talking about to you today is the idea that that there is always a way. Okay, so I am planning to launch my book in a couple of days, and have been talking to people about the book launch, professors, people here and there. And there was this particular contact or professor that I had high hopes on. I said, this person, once they grant this, approve this budget, is going to work this way, is going to work that way, and now my book is going to be launched. I won't have to start thinking about raising money, yada yada yada. And guess what? I've been emailing these people, reaching out to them, and they are not responding. And at a point I was like, but was it not the same person who told me to send this, who told me to follow up? And why is this person not responding? It was just this morning that I got a message from that person that, oh, we are sorry, we won't be able to move forward with the plan that as initially proposed because of A, B, C, D, E. And I was like, wow. Even though it wasn't surprising, because one of the things I've come to learn is there is always a way. And the fact is, when you do not think or believe that this is the only way through which God is going to come through for you, and you know, as a matter of fact, that God can come through for you anyway, through any means, you will not rely on one result or one outcome. And based on that knowledge, while I was waiting on these people to hear back from them, I kept doing my own parts. I kept playing my part. And one thing that came to me in the process is, what do you have in your hand? I have my story. I have my community. I have people who I already have relationships with. And guess what? I had to start acting, and I began to send, invitation to these people one by one. And I was able to send close to 100 emails to different people in a week. And in that 1 week, guess what? I got response from at least about 10 different people have, RSVP for my book launch. Why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this with you because sometimes you might think this is what will work out, but God might have a different plan. And I am not saying that the big deal or the big one will not come, but while you're waiting for that very one, what is in your hand? Who can you talk to in the immediate that can help you as you're making effort to get that big break? What is in your hand? When you understand that you are a person of value yourself and there's something you can give, and while you're waiting for those big people with big names, do not underestimate what you can do with the power of God that is in you. And I hope this makes sense to somebody. Again, let me tell you that the spirit is never late. When I say the spirit is never late, I mean, in the last few days, I have been thinking, even though I have come to not be under pressure, because one thing I've come to realize is whatever will be, but that does not mean I won't do my part. So while I was playing my part, some things were not moving at the speed I wanted them to move, and I was beginning to get really apprehensive. Apprehensive in the sense that I was like, when will this arrive? With this whole book launch thing, how will it go? How will I do this? And I was concerned. And even though I was concerned, I did not stop preparing oils for my lamp. Concerned in the sense that, will this bridegroom come? Will this thing happen? Will I get this kind of result? Will I get this support? Who would donate towards this whole book launch of a thing? While I cannot control all of those outcomes, I could control what I was doing at the point, right? And guess what? I kept preparing oil for my lamp. I kept editing. I kept reaching out. I kept talking to people. And suddenly, way began to open up. I mean, people started to reach out, support, donate. And the things that I was worried would not work out because of the way in which funds are coming in slowly, even though funds are coming in slowly, the spirit is not late still. I am still able to meet those deadlines. You know, there's something I learned from Florence Scovel Shinn, which is the idea that when you're about to die, your miracle will suddenly happen. It is when we're about to die that that very thing would come through. It is when a woman is really, really exhausted in the labor room that she uses her last strength to push the baby out, and the baby comes out. It is when we're about to give up about that big project, that big thing that is really impossible, that people will shame us on if it doesn't come through. That is when God is working something out. And that's why I said the spirit is never late. Don't ever forget this. And in addition to that, do not be moved by appearances. I mean, everything that I've said to you today just goes to show that it doesn't make sense when you're trusting God a lot of times. But you see, just keep trusting. Keep trusting because the spirit is never late. Keep trusting because God would always make a way. Keep trusting because you should not be moved by appearances, right? You have not been called a child of God to be moved by the things you can see. And faith is the assurance of things hoped for. Not hope for, hoped for, what you have believed God for, and the evidence of things that are not seen. It means you have not seen it yet. You can't have it, you can't hold it yet, but you believe it will work out. And that is the law of attraction. That is the spirit behind manifestation. Living in that feeling universe, that mindset that yes, I have that money. Yes, I have that glory. Yes, I have that breakthrough. Even though right now, you are not holding it, but you know and you know and you know and you know for sure that you would hold it, that you behold that glory, and that things will work out for you. And when you finally do, remember, you deserve it. If you didn't deserve it, you wouldn't have had the faith in the beginning. If you did not deserve it, God would not be making ways despite the obstacles. If you did not deserve it, you wouldn't have got it. And I hope you learn that you deserve everything good. Mo fẹ́ sọ fún yín lónìí pé lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ náà, téèyàn bá ń fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan ńlá, nǹkan kàbìtì tí ó ka èèyàn gan láyà, èèyàn máa nípèníjà, ẹ̀rù gan sì máa bàyàn pé ṣé kinní yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ bí? Báwo la ṣe wá ṣe bí? N tí mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ ni pé kò sí nǹkan tó ṣòro fọ́lọ́run láti ṣe o. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà a lè rò bóyá ọ̀nà báyìí la máa gbà. Kọ́lọ́run sọ pé irọ́ o, ọ̀nà báyìí ni mo fẹ́ kó gbà. Ẹ má ṣeyèméjì, ẹ fi ọkàn yín, ẹ fi tán. Ẹ gbọ́kàn yín lólúwa nítorí èèyàn tó bá gbọ́kàn lólúwa ò ní jogún òfo. Nígbà tẹ́ bá tiẹ̀ wá ń ṣe, tẹ́ bá ń retí nǹkan ọ̀hún, ẹ má fẹsẹ̀ falẹ̀. Ẹ ṣe ohun tó bá yẹ kẹ́ ẹ ṣe. Ẹ bira yín pé kí ni mo ní lọ́wọ́ mi? Ẹ rántí ìgbà tí Dáfídì fẹ́ lọ pa Gòláyátì, kí ló ní? Kò mọ̀ níbọn. Kí lẹ̀yin ní lọ́wọ́ yín báyìí tẹ́ ẹ lè lò láti fi lè máa ṣe ohun tó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ ṣe? Bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé n tẹ́ ń retí látọ̀dọ̀ Ọlọ́run ó ju n tẹ́ ẹ ní lọ. Ẹ ṣe tiyín, Ọlọ́run ó sì ṣe tiẹ̀. Mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ìwé mi tí mo fẹ́ launch. Mo sì fẹ́ pe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn nínú ilé ẹ̀kọ́ mi láti wá bá mi yọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ayẹyẹ ìwé mi tí mo fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn bá mi gbé lárugẹ. Ó dẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ pé ó láwọn èèyàn kan tí mo ti bá sọ̀rọ̀ tán ti sọ pé a máa ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bó ṣe máa lọ lélẹ̀. Ká tó wí ká tó fọ̀ náà bá sọ pé má bínú, a lè ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ṣe sọ ẹ mọ̀. Kì í ṣe pé èmi náà fi gbogbo ọkàn tán wọn o, mo kàn ń gbìyànjú láti máa tẹ̀lé wọn, láti máa rán wọn létí. Ṣùgbọ́n mo wá rí i pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà èèyàn ò nílò èèyàn kankan, èèyàn kàn nílò ọkàn tó tẹ̀lé, ọkàn tí èèyàn nílò láti fi ọkàn tán Ọlọ́run. Tẹ́ bá sì lọ́kàn tẹ́ bá gbé ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé yín tẹ́ gbé lọ́lọ́run, ẹ lè jogún òfò. Nínú ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé ọ̀hún ni pé ẹ ó máa gbìyànjú, ẹ ò ní ṣèmẹ́lẹ́, ohun tó yẹ kẹ́ ṣe ẹ ṣe. Mi ò ṣèmẹ́lẹ́ lórí bí mo ṣe ń bá àwọn èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìwé mi tí mo fẹ́ launch. Bí mo ṣe ń kọ lẹ́tà ni mò ń pe pípè, ni mò ń send message sóríṣiríṣi àwọn èèyàn kan bá lè mọ ohun tí mo fẹ́ ṣe, kán dẹ̀ lè ràn mí lọ́wọ́. Lọ́rọ̀ kan, díẹ̀díẹ̀ làwọn èèyàn máa bá ràn mí lọ́wọ́. Àwọn èèyàn tí mi ò tiẹ̀ lérò pé wọ́n ò gbé nǹkan ọ̀hún sórí, wọ́n máa ti ń gbé sórí. Ọ̀tọ̀dẹ̀ làwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n kọ́kọ́ sọ fún mi tẹ́lẹ̀ pé àwọn ò bá mi gbé nǹkan ọ̀hún sórí. Ẹ má ṣe fi ọkàn tán èèyàn kankan, ẹ má ṣe tiyín. Ẹ fọkàn tán gbogbo èèyàn, torí téèyàn kan bá já yín kulẹ̀, ẹlòmíì ò ní já yín kulẹ̀. Nítorí pọ́n já yín kulẹ̀ ò mean pé èèyàn burúkú ni wọ́n, ó kàn jẹ́ pé kì í ṣàwọn lọ́lọ́run fẹ́ fi gbé yín lárugẹ lásìkò ọ̀hún. Lẹ́lẹ́ẹ̀kejì, kò sí wọn mú late comer nílé Ọlọ́run o. Kò sígbà tọ́lọ́run bá ṣe nǹkan ọ̀hún tó pẹ́ o. Ìbùkún Ọlọ́run kò ń pẹ́ o. Ìdí tí mo dẹ̀ fi sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé mo ń gbìyànjú láti wo bí àwọn owó kan ṣe wọlé kí n bá lè sanwó fún àwọn èèyàn tó ń bá mi ṣe ètò nǹkan lóríṣiríṣi fún ọjọ́ ìbí mi. Ló bá ṣẹlẹ̀ pé àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan nínú wọn tí mo ń retí ìdáhùn látọ̀dọ̀ wọn, àbí owó tó yẹ kí n tiẹ̀ fi san fún èèyàn tó ń bá mi ka ìwé mi pé kó má bàa sí ìkọkúkọ ń bẹ́ẹ̀, pé ṣé mo kọ kíní dáadáa, ṣé sílébù eléyìí wà níbi tó wà, lówó ò bá máa wọlé. Kì í ṣe pé èèyàn ò ní máa rò pé báwo la ṣe wá ṣe kíní iná. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe ń sọ, pẹ̀lú pé mo tiẹ̀ ń rò pé ká wò bóyá owó yìí máa wọlé, bóyá ò ní wọlé. Mo ń ṣe tèmi, mo ń gbìyànjú, mo sì ń kọ lẹ́tà sáwọn èèyàn lọ, mo sì ń ka ìwé ọ̀hún lọ, mo sì ń ṣe ohun tó yẹ kí n ṣe. Lọ́sàn-án kan òru kan, owó díẹ̀díẹ̀ wọlé. Kò wọlé gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe lérò bóyá yóò wọlé látilẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n ó ń wọlé gẹ́gẹ́ bọ́lọ́run ṣe fẹ́ kó lọ. Kò sì sí kankan nínú gbogbo tí mo fẹ́ ṣe gan tó ti wá fà sẹ́yìn. Bóyá ó wá lójijì o, àbò ń wá tíntìntín. Kókó ni pé ṣèbó ṣà ń wá. Ṣèbọ́ lòun ṣàdójú tì yín. Ẹ dúró ṣinṣin, kẹ̀sì má ṣe iyèméjì. Nítorí kò sí lateness nílé Ọlọ́run. Ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run ò sì kí ń pẹ́ o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́lọ́run ò kí ń pẹ́. Bó jẹ́ pé ìdájí ni, ìgbàkígbà tọ́lọ́run bá yọjú, ìgbà tí yóò yẹ yín lógo ni o. Ká tún má fọ̀rọ̀ gùn. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí gbogbo ìpèníjà yín kó máa mú yín ṣe iyèméjì. Torí èèyàn tó bá fẹ́ ṣe ohun ògo, ó di dandan kó rí ìpèníjà. Ṣùgbọ́n tá a ṣe nígbà tá a bá ń láwọn ìpèníjà yẹn gangan, òun ni yóò yà wá sọ́tọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Ọlọ́run tó nígbàgbọ́ nínú Ọlọ́run àti èèyàn tí ò nígbàgbọ́. Àti pé níparí, tí nǹkan ńlá, nǹkan ràbàtà tẹ́ ẹ ń retí tó bá wá dé, ẹ má ṣe máa bira yín pé ṣé ó tọ́ sí mi bí? Ó tọ́ sí yín, torí ẹ ti jìyà, ẹ ti jìṣẹ́, ẹ ti gbàdúrà, ẹ ti gbìyànjú. Tó bá wá dé tán, ẹ bò kìtìkìtì, kẹ́ ẹ bò kàtàkàtà, kẹ́ ẹ sì ràgàbó, kínú yín dùn, káyọ̀ yín kún, torí ẹ ṣiṣẹ́ fún, ẹ sì tún nígbàgbọ́ nínú Ọlọ́run. I hope you learned something today. Abundance is here, there is no lack. You deserve it, and go for gold. God bless you. Take care.